Good morning. I'm Monisa Klein, and we're live back here at GBTA Media Day at the broadcast studio. And joining me here is a longtime colleague and friend, Mr. Chuck Thaxton from ARC. Chuck is the Managing Director of Data Science and Research. Welcome, Chuck. It's great to have you back.
Thanks. Good to be here.
Good, good. So ARC partnered with GBTA, I understand, on a new study that's going to be coming out tomorrow on leveraging data to improve traveler experience. So what was the top takeaway from this study?
Yeah, the study was, we're publishing it tomorrow, as you mentioned. The study was based on trying to figure out what metrics are being captured to measure corporate travel programs. And measuring those corporate travel programs is not new. I mean, some of those metrics have been around for a while: advanced purchase, supplier share, things like that. And those are still in play. But what we came away with was a couple of surprises that are things that are not being really measured in action today, but are really low-hanging fruit that corporate travel managers can take advantage of.
Okay. So did you find that buyers are measuring traveler experience? And if so, what are they tracking?
Yeah, in a lot of cases, in fact, more than half the time, travel programs survey travelers, find out what is important to those travelers and that sort of thing. The gap that we found, however, is in kind of what they do with that data.
Right.
For example, it's important to track road warriors, people that travel all the time, that sort of thing. And most corporate travel programs do pay attention to those travelers. They survey for their needs and things like that. However, only about 14% have specific travel policies that are targeted to those travelers. And that's an important factor because a lot of these travelers are the typical road warriors. They're high-value employees. They're not only high value to the company, but expensive to replace. And without that flexibility in travel programs, there could very well be an impact on retaining those employees. And not only that, in today's tight labor market, recruiting is an issue if you're not having specific travel policies focused on those key employees and those key travelers.
So important. So what are some actionable steps that buyers can take to improve their programs based on the research?
Yeah, the research was interesting because a high percentage of the people that we surveyed said they're very interested in doing something about this, but only a few are doing something at this point. And it's really not a huge lift for these programs to do. Things like more flexibility in travel, more upgrades, those kinds of things. Those are things that are fairly easy to do for a relatively small population of the road warriors. So not necessarily a global change to the travel program, but something specific for those high-value employees.
Sometimes it's those little things, right?
Absolutely.
And you touched on recruiting and retention, which are so important.
Absolutely.
So it's great that this study is coming out tomorrow. So
the other thing that we noticed in this was very few of the surveys of travelers are tracking trip success. There's a lot of investment in travel. It is frequently thought of as a cost center. Well, it's really an investment. Building those relationships and making those trips is an investment. And tracking the return on that investment and the success of those trips is very critical. So measuring that, and not only measuring it, but reporting it to your executives and your C-level is a critical thing to do. And very few of the survey respondents are doing that right now.
That's great. Well, the convention theme is evolve, and
Absolutely.
I think this is a great example of, evolution, right?
Absolutely.
Things evolving, and this is a great study. I think that'll be coming out tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to hearing all the details.
Absolutely.
And reading more about it. Chuck, thank you so much
Thanks,
for taking
Lisa.
some time with me today.
Okay.
And we'll see you out on the trade show floor.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Thank you.
I'm Monisa Klein. We're live here at GBTA Media Day at Broadcast Studio. Stay tuned for more news.